Web3 will spit people out very quickly, and it spits out bad products very quickly, right? So Web2, it's funny you mentioned Red Bull, right? We can all categorically say we all know Red Bull's not very good for you. But back in the day, man, if you had the money, if you had the investments, you had the backing, you could just push anything out to a populace and they would suck it up. And like you said, some good marketing behind it, funny commercials. All of a sudden, everybody's drinking Red Bull because they want to be in the X Games. And it's like that was real then, but it didn't make the product healthy, good, or really viable. It just was good marketing, and it was funneled with enough dollars that they pounded it into our psyche. Now, you know, there's an energy drink somewhere that's not Red Bull, right? That's able to get into the market that people can be exposed to. Same thing in music industry, right? The idea that like you had to go through these crazy filters to get your name known, whereas now anybody could potentially, any copywriter, any video editor. I mean, like Mike's talking about the 16-year-old, from France, and it's like, who knows? He could be the next best thing in digital media, editing production, right? We don't know, but what would chance would that person have back in the day? And I just think that's a really cool thing because yes, it's cutthroat, but it's also completely open, and so it's really anybody's game. And I think that that's a special kind of factor that brings Web3 to the forefront of what we're doing.
100%, man. The one thing for me, I spent my career pitching creative to
Yep.
gatekeepers, and the
Gatekeepers.
gatekeepers, I would sit in a room and they would say, that's not a good show. And I would be like, man, I wouldn't even let you hold the remote to my television at my house,
Hey man, I
Right.
and I
was the
gotta listen to
gatekeeper,
you.
brah. I
So,
was the
so for
gatekeeper.
me, doing this project, I was like, wow, we have an opportunity. It's direct to consumer. You tell me if it's good or not. The community.
Yes.
Is this good
Yes.
or not? You know what I
Yep.
mean? We live and die by what we do. We do, and I've seen stuff. I go back in my development projects, and I'm like, wow, that could have been cool. Who knows? You know what I mean? If this gatekeeper just got the hell out of the way.
Oh,
So NFT culture. I mean, that's the thing when I hear, younger people. I mean, there's a lot of competition now, but there's a lot of opportunity.
oh,
And I think that you can do anything you want to at this point. Just all you need is a computer, um,
Yep.
and sky's the limit.
yeah. And
So
I would say in the NFT space specifically, like we're talking about, there's there's a lot of competition and really no hope for which we're already in the last gen of NFTs, which was 4 months ago when you're just trying to make a PFP project to make money. There is a ton of opportunity in the future for projects like yourself that are bringing the best of the best together to build a company through an NFT. That is where the opportunity lies in the future, and I think people are still just caught up in NFTs are a way to flip and make a quick buck, but it's just so much more than that. And then I would say, back to what we were saying about community is we will help you as much as we can to build community. And we are talking about the Web3 community as a whole. And I know you know this, but just reiterating on the fact that like your indelible community is of utmost importance. Uh,
Mhm.
80, 80% of NFTs is community and nothing else.
Right.
I would say that yes, tattoo culture is amazing. The artwork's going to be amazing.
Of course.
But if you do not have that 80% community aligned, understanding your vision and excited about what you're doing, you got nothing. So,
100%.
um,
Yeah, definitely. The unfortunate thing is if I took my own advice, I wouldn't be working on this company right now because usually you should be second at the gate. It's good to be the pioneer, but in business, the successful ones are the second ones.
right, right.
Because if I go through my track record of like watching different industries like the music business, the television business, production companies selling, the first production companies were valued at a certain amount, there was hype, but then the second buyers came in and they got that fear of missing out going valuation shot up through the roof because the
Right.
second people came in the game and it's the
Yeah.
third ones that get bit because then
So
it
so
starts to
wait a
drop.
second. I'm gonna argue with you a little bit. I'd
Okay.
say I'd say Bored Ape is the first of the game. So you are coming
Yeah,
second.
I would agree with that.
And I
Um,
promise you, there's been 100 or 200 tattoo projects that have sucked and already failed. So you're coming
okay.
behind Bored Ape, and you're going to make the first real tattoo project. So I think you're in with the way that you're building a company as an NFT as a company. you are in a way better scenario now than you would be because let's be honest, Bored Ape was just lightning in a bottle. Yeah, they had right connections. They did some good things on the back end. But Bored Ape versus Cyberpunk, it's kind of like a roll of the dice. We're starting to enter an NFT era. You have obviously businesses and income to get through this winter, and I guarantee all of the companies that are NFTs that are going to be successful once we get out of this are people just like yourselves. So I think you're in a great place, man.
We're here to stay. We have a long runway to go. Like, so I'm listen, to be honest with you, I have a successful company, and it's like, I need this like a hole in the head. I just created like a really, I'm on this all day long. This is like 99% of my day. But
right.
I love it. I love it so much that like, this is what gives me my life,
Yeah.
That's how it was built. So yeah, I mean, I hope everything you're saying is true, but I'll tell you one thing, if we go down a road, and if we need to make a pivot, we're going to decide on, we just keep pivoting, until we reach our finish line, and then keep going from there, because the goalpost keeps moving. So we're in it for the process, not for the end result. We love the whole every aspect of the building process of this company.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You can't go anywhere now. You've given out every home address.
Yeah, exactly.
New York, LA.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Security.
But no, you have a team though that if you're talking about how to pivot,
he took doxing to a new level.
if you're talking about how to recognize,
What's that, man?
The bottom line is you guys have enough experience that you can recognize those things, right? And that's the other big thing. A project with a bunch of people who this is their first real venture into a business, they don't know what to look for. They don't know the signs. They wouldn't know when to sell if it was even appropriate to sell. You know what I mean? You guys have experience, and that goes a really, really long way, because like you said, recognizing, we need to change pace here, or we need to be able to do a course correction here. A lot of people will sit there and like, no, fear of change. I have to keep doing this, or it becomes an ego or a pride thing, which there's not a lot of room for that at the top. I think you guys are in a position to be able to be equipped just fine to be able to make the moves that need to happen.